So blood work, what's next? And it was really a story. You go in four at a time, two at a time, and you're asked if you have any fainting spells, or if you black out, or if you're afraid of needles. I'm not sure whatever this guy was kidding or not, but guess what? You black out, you're DQ'd. So I kind of was like talking to my body, I'm like, don't pass out, don't pass out, don't pass out. I'm not afraid of needles. I have plenty of tattoos. The problem is once something pierces my body, comes out the other end, or you take my blood sugar drops and I tend to faint. So that was a little scary for me because I'm like, I don't want to be DQ'd and penalized for something that I cannot affect. Not to mention there was no water fountains around, so I couldn't really even drink to like counterbalance that. So it was four of us. It was me and three other guys. One guy went first. It was a weird setup too. You were sitting in a circle. It was one of those long dental chairs, so we were almost laying down. So the guy on my left hand side went first, and he was on the second. The guy on my left hand side was like a big shot hero, donated pints of blood, so then he went. Then it was just me and the guy across from me. The guy across from me not only had phobia of needles, but he also had fainting spells like I did. One of the Maliners was approaching him, and he put the band around him. The guy started to sweat profusively, and he got all pale white, and he was moving everywhere like he couldn't sit still, and I felt so bad. So I went next, and I got to have the biggest needle that they possibly had. Only so he could show the guy that it's not as bad, and he gave him the smallest needle. So I'm like, great, so somebody, is feeling better at my expense once again. But hey, I'm here so others may live, so, okay. After that, the only part I didn't do was the doctor interview and the neurophysical. So my next stop was the doctor interview. So when you walk into the female examining room, there's like a back room, and you're asked to strip down to your undergarments, and she's gonna take your height and she's gonna weigh you. Then she's gonna look into whatever branch you're going into, and there's a chart for every branch, and you're supposed to weigh X amount of pounds for your height, and so on. She couldn't find the Coast Guard chart, and she came back with such a smart answer as to, oh, see how little we use this? Well, you're lucky you were actually in the service, because that's why I was not able to say anything to her. But in reality, she should know that they only process 2 Coast Guards a day. And that being said is because there's only one Coast Guard recruiter and an officer in one at the whole entire station. So he could only handle X amount of recruits plus his job. And, the military, meaning the Army and the Navy and the Marines, if you go in there on the base on the first floor and you see the recruiting offices, they're like really big, and they're actual offices with X amount of employees and officers and, just lieutenant surgeons, just people serving, and, therefore they could have more people over there, I mostly think it's because Coast Guards are a little bit more out there. They're at a higher level. I mean, we get handpicked. You could submit your application, but you're not just going to be able to enter and take your exam, and either you pass, you're in, or you fail, and you're out. We actually have to go through an interview first, and depending on if the recruiter likes us and, how we present each other, how we present itself, how we talk, how we speak, how we dress, anywhere from tattoos to social skills and manners and so on. If you're not favorable, if he doesn't like you, you are not submitting your application. You are not getting into ASVAB, therefore you're not going to be in MEPS. It's not like that with every branch, so, I mean, whatever the case was. So she took my height and my weight, and then you were asked to strip down completely, butt naked, and it's like when you're at the gynecologist, you put on your paper robe with the opening to the front, and you wait. You have no socks on. The floor is freezing as hell. It is freezing at the base itself. It's freezing outside. And now you're just sitting there and you're waiting your turn. So there was 2 girls in front of me, and then a girl behind me. So when you finally get to see the doctor, not only are you supposed to take it all off, and she's gonna, record your stretch mark here, the beauty mark there, a scar here, and what happened over here and there, and your tattoos, what do they mean, and she goes into a whole lot of different things. It's also balance. Can you stand on your tippy toes? Can you stand on your heels? Can you turn around for me 5 times so I can see if you don't have flat feet? Can you tell me why you're joining this branch and why you're actually in the military? So be prepared not only to be physically fit and practice stability, but be also ready to answer interview questions, because that's exactly what it is. It is an interview, except a doctor's doing it. But guess what? That doctor is the main component if you get DQ'd or you're going to qualify for whatever you want to do. So make sure you really are prepared for that. The last 10 to 20 minutes of your doctor's interview, you have something like a gynecologist visit, and she just goes over the whole thing. And then when you finally think you're done, you're still not done. You're able to go in the back room, put on your undergarments, but then you still sit there in the freezing cold and you wait for all the other ladies to be done. Like I said, you come in as a group, you come out as a group. So 2 girls are done, I come in, we're done, we're still waiting for 1 more female to finish. When she's all done, we all get dressed up. That's when the doctor comes, and that's when the neurophysical actually starts. So neurophysical is where you do the duck walk. That's where you stand on one leg and you bring your knee to your waist level and you stay in balance. It doesn't matter if your hands are behind your head, outstretched, or if they're down your knees. As long as you're balancing. And then you're going to be asked to kick forward but not touch the ground 5 times, and then you're going to kick backwards, like if you're starting a bike 5 times, and then you're going to switch your legs and do the same thing on your left leg. When you're done with that, you're going to be asked to walk on your tippy toes and walk on your heels. You're also going to be asked to get down on your knees and walk on your knees, turn around and walk back on your knees. You're going to be asked to do hand coordinations, and you're going to have to do those without looking, okay? So make sure you practice those. Your hands are going to be straightforward, and you're going to go down, down, side, side, and in, and up, up. When you're done with that, you have to do hand mills. So where your hands are, you're going to bring them up, and you're going to make sure that you're touching your ears, and you're going to go back around and back up. And you're going to do this 5 times. It's to see your front delts, to make sure there's nothing wrong with your shoulders. And then she's going to ask you to turn around and do the same thing again. This way she can see the rear delts. When that's over, you're going to be asked to do the duck walk. When your duck walk is over, you're going to be asked to get down in the squat position on your heels. And without using your hands, you're going to have to get up. You're also asked to get down in a squat position, bring your knees together, and at the same time, you're supposed to drop down, and your knees are supposed to make like a top sound, just to make sure that your kneecaps are in place. And that's it. And the last thing was from a left hand side corner to the right side of corner in the opposite room. You're gonna walk diagonal. You're gonna walk really fast. You're not gonna sprint, but you're gonna walk really fast there and back. And that was it. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It wasn't as bad as people made it seem. The only thing that was really bad was the weight, the starvation, and the freezing conditions. So just be prepared to be very patient and very cold. And when you're done with that, that's when you're able to go downstairs and eat. Even though lunchtime is at 12, you will not go down there until you're done with your physical. At least that's how it was to me. So when you're done with your physical, that's when you walk downstairs, you get your food, and then you come back up and you wait at the center medical desk. It's right in the center of the 3rd floor. And you wait for your result, and you're either going to be qualified or you're going to be DQ'd. And that's really it. If you guys have any further questions, please let me know. You could slide your comments down below, or you could message me personally. And to all you ladies applying, best of luck. Good luck to everybody else. And Happy New Year.